Well, good morning, and thank you very much for being with TVC since the very beginning of this special broadcast, the National Assembly inauguration, which started early in the day and will continue for as long as it takes. Now, the next guest, quite frankly, you are very much, thanks to TVC, you're very much in tune with what's been going on. The election has been finished in the Senate, and the National Assembly, in the House of Representatives, it is just about to be wrapped up. Indeed, will be wrapped up any moment from now. Okay, now, our guest this morning is a friend of the House and a senator himself. Well, I guess once a senator, always a senator. But I'm speaking here about the immediate past spokesman of the Senate of the Federal Republic, Senator Ajibola Basiru. He's our guest this morning, and we'll be together to look into, how things are going. A fine morning to you, Senator Basiru.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori. How are you?
Very well, sir. Any feelings of, I don't know, is it nostalgia? It's like this is the first day that we can actually say the immediate past spokesperson, because you've been so much a part of it for all this time, and you've also watched all the proceedings. So tell me, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think just like I put on my Instagram earlier today, an exit is a new beginning. So I feel that the exit from the Senate may portend a new beginning for some other exploits and some other accomplishment by the grace of Almighty God. And
Yes.
I'm also here to wish the senators and the members in the 10th Assembly, the best, of luck and in service and dedication, to the people. So that main Senate, the story, ended on Sunday, and of course, we are very optimistic that they will be able to support our president, Ajibola Tinubu, in achieving the new hope, for Nigeria, and they have started on the right track from what has transpired at the chambers of the two chambers of the National Assembly, this morning.
Indeed. And a great stuff, really. And thanks to modern technology, even as you are not in Abuja necessarily, you followed everything, every step of the way. And there were no surprises. Considering all the talk before the actual day today, I've heard some, people say that, there was tension, the tension was very high, but in the event, it went so very smoothly. There was no unruliness, no untidiness. I guess that's a credit mark that it's gone as smoothly as it has, in spite of the almost vociferous sort of a commentary that led up to it.
Yes, it's always like that, Yori. People who are not even active players in the political process, they hazard, guests, and they make a comment. And of course, in the nature of politics, particularly people who are opposition to happen to the ruling party, and of course, some who don't possibly like a leader, Ashwaju, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sorry, some of us are used to calling him Ashwaju, so we'll get used to calling him President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Over time, I felt that yes, it was going to be demystified by the election, today. But alas, Ashwaju President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is somebody who is used to his game. He has been able to bring about cohesion within the party and the rank of not only the members of the APC, but all other political parties in the National Assembly. As you could see, some of the members in the opposition, they testify, to the fact that it is the first time that a sitting president will be having meeting with members and senators, elect. And of course, he was able to let them understand the need to have a cohesive relationship between the executive and the legislative arm, and of course, to have people that you are trusted to be able to help in realizing the New Hope agenda. And of in the build-up to today, there have been a lot of meeting, there have been a lot of horse trading. You also see the active involvement of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria himself, until 2 days ago, a colleague in the Senate of the National Assembly, an astute politician who is able to use his experience and the political sagacity to support the candidature. And you also know that the Chief of Staff designate, Right Honorable Speaker Gbagbo Amila, also somebody who has been a veteran in the politics of the National Assembly, also aligned. And of course, you also see the role played a committee set up by Mr. President and the party governor of Imo State, Opus Odima, also up and doing and ensuring that today comes maybe surprise to those who are expecting Armageddon, but for some of us are just what to consider is going to be a routine. And of course, you'll be surprised at the tally that will occur, although it's still being done at the House of Rep. You see, it's going to be an overwhelming majority for Honorable T.J. Abbas and my colleague, spokesperson of the 9th House of Rep, Benjamin who ultimately as the deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Just as Senator Barau Jubil emerged unopposed.
Indeed. Senator Barau emerged unopposed. That was an interesting tidbit. The other thing that I think is remarkable is that, look, in spite of your party haven't made public its preferences, there still was what looked like internal dissent in that, as you know, Senator Abdulaziz Yari, he actually went into the election. But in the event of Senator Godswill Akpabio winning by 63 of the votes, the gentleman, Senator Yari, stepped across and congratulated Senator Godswill Akpabio, and I imagine pledging cooperation and loyalty. That I thought was remarkable, but why did we have to go through that unless it's all about democracy? Since there was no...
Of course...
Go ahead, please.
I think it's not the first... It's part of a democratic process, but I think it's part of the process, but with respect, also for some of our colleagues in what we are talking about, a special system of government. In the parliament, which when the party has taken the personal disposition, not the first time it will occur, I could recall in 20 May, who now happened to be manager was also nominated contest against Senator. In that test, you also see that challenge by Senator Ali. I read on Saturday, Senator Dume said he's no longer a rebel in the establishment, and he has been able to see that there is a joy in having harmonious working relationship within the group.
We were speaking with Senator Ajibola Basiru, the immediate past spokesman of the Nigerian Senate. He was commenting on the election in the Senate where Godswill Akpabio has won. So he's been, carried. He's been voted in. Jubrin Barau, another senator, he is the Deputy Senate President, and he was just commenting on the democratic nature of these things. That is Senator Abdulaziz Yari, former governor and Senator Abdulaziz Yari, having contested the race. He actually stepped into the ring, and he's done the right thing. He's done the sportsman-like thing and stepped across once it was decided that, look, from 60 to 40, it's an emphatic win, and he was quick to offer his congratulations. Now, the green accent picture you saw earlier was the live feed from the House of Representatives, where matters are still ongoing. As you know, we have to come up with both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker in that case. And by the way, in this hour or so, we started off at around 11, in this hour or two that will be on, the time will come when we'll open up the lines to, as usual, around this hour on TVC, get your commentary. Is Senator Basiru back? That's what we're trying to... In fact, the lines are actually open now. So you've been watching, you've been following this, and so as soon as you want to, you can call in. Senator Bashiru's, I mean, not Senator Bashiru. Yes, well, Senator Bashiru is our guest this morning, but we're having these challenges with the audio. It's been going for quite a while, but I'm sure we'll get on top of it very, very shortly. And as I said, you probably know too, whereas it's been concluded in the Senate, not in the House of Representatives, business is still on. And in the meantime, Mr. Yakub has called in. A fine morning to you on this day of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning to every one of us, wherever we are watching this program from. As a Nigerian, as one of the supporter of the APC, I think I congratulate myself. And then I was saying that, sorry, by extension, I congratulate Mr. President Ajibola Tinubu. You know, why am I saying that? You see, Ajibola Tinubu is a Ronaldo and a Messi of these games. He knows how to play the game very well. I've been 40 since zero party. Come down to NLC, SDP, and all that. Up to now, I've never seen a president can be able to gather the National Assembly period to the day of their election, inauguration of their house. And then all the hula baloo that the house is going to be rowdy, this, that. In fact, one of the papers says something that I don't want to use the word now because the election has gone. And then the Apabri have come to be a Senate president. See, if you are going to see a house that is going to work harmoniously with Mr. President so that he can achieve his goal. A rowdy house that does not work with Mr. President will never be able, you cannot be able to achieve much. But now as it is, the party goes all the way for about Apabri, and then it has come to stay. And then I can tell you, Mr. Abbas in the House of Representatives is going to come out win of that election, even though I have contrary opinion at the beginning, but we can be able to say our mind, but we cannot expect it in the National Assembly. Why am I saying that? I was opinion that very particular clause should go to North Central, but the Mr. President, he has given them something that is even bigger in my own personal opinion as well. I don't know, maybe Mr. Yori is listening to me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Mr. President are giving them the one of the key positions in this country, replace it with SDF. So, in this case, Abbas is going to win this election in the House of Representatives. And then we can be able to say, Ajibola Tinubu, we can be able to say that he will be able to deliver the democracy that he promised Nigerians, the dividends of democracy that he promised us, because I pray he will never fail, by God's grace, because somebody like us, like me personally, campaign for him, even though you don't know me personally, but we did all what we can in our own locality here, because we know that he has the ability, capacity to deliver. As you can see, look at all those bills that he are trying to launch. Within few weeks, we can be able to say, yes, we are moving in the right direction. I don't have that in my mind. After, let's say, less than 6 months, Nigerian citizens will not yet. We choose rightly. We choose somebody that will know that this is a right person for the position in person of Ajibola Tinubu. But he cannot do it alone without not having a senior president. The senior president are working synergy, and the House of Representatives leaders are working together to make sure that Nigeria go directly to where we needed to see Nigerians. I thank God for Ajibola Tinubu that he played the game very well. As I said earlier, it is a Ronaldo. It's also a Messi of this game. And then you can see that the game is already won. So I pray to God Almighty Allah again to give him a good edge so that he can be able to give us what we need. Good morning, Mr. Yori. God bless you, because this is the only station that gives us opportunity. I repeat, opportunity to be our mind. Whatever we had in mind, whether they oppose or support. I can tell you, somebody else can call in and say contrary opinion to what I say. this is only station give us that opportunity. There's other stations that don't give us that. I don't want to mention them, even though they bring the guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Yakub. Thank you very much, Mr. Yakub, calling in the first of, hopefully a number of calls that will come in, commenting on this day, the first day, the inauguration of the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic. And by the way, as an aside, I suppose, well, Ajibola Tinubu, it just, trips off the tongue, doesn't it? Ajibola Tinubu. But some are actually saying, President Ajibola Tinubu. Now, I'm just going to suggest that you've got to take one. You're either going to say Asiwaju Tinubu or President Tinubu. Well, you can't say President Asiwaju Tinubu. It's just my own 2 bits to it, because Asiwaju, as you know, is the foremost chieftaincy title. And President is the ultimate title. Yes, Senator Basiru, were you commenting? Please continue.
I'm saying that it will be a long time. Some of us who have been calling him Asiwaju for decades, we can't just switch and then just not call him Asiwaju. So you have to pardon us when we combine both Asiwaju and President together. In any event, in Yoruba language, Asiwaju is leader and is our leader. So we can only say leader, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And of course, we are used to calling him Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So you continue to pardon us when we make that
in fact, some might even shorten it to President Asiwaju. Some might even...
Okay. Maybe one of the days I see him, I'll say which one would he prefer, whether he would prefer President Asiwaju or not. And of course, he will not mind anyone. What matters to him is that for him to just act and perform and then meet the expectation of Nigeria.
Indeed, you're very right, Senator, because I don't think he's even bothered by any of those things. The man has just put his head down and has been on business. Even the foreign press is beginning to comment, saying that they actually are being reassured in these early days. 15 days of Tinubu's presidency, and as far as they are concerned, so much traction has been made, so much has been done. I mean, talk about hitting the ground running. I know we're talking about the National Assembly now, but he has a very important role in all of this, especially as it relates to the unity of the party, the top hierarchy of the party. All principal officers of the party were in the National Assembly, signifying that all is well in there. There might be disagreements, but as you said earlier, that's all about democracy. And everybody is showing that we are playing cricket the way it's supposed to be played. I think that much nobody can fail to notice, that there seems to be a unified house going into this election. Abi, no be so, Senator?
Yeah, I think there are two schools of thought as to what should be the relationship between the National Assembly and the executive arm. Okay. There's this school of thought that I see National Assembly as an opposition political party, or if I may be generous, opposition parliament, and that the barometer to measure the effectiveness of a National Assembly is how much rancorous they could be against executive decision. And I think those who belong to that school of thought want to always refer to the 8th Assembly. The other school of thought, which some of us belong to, is that yes, whereas there is separation of powers, there's also checks and balances. The way and manner the dreams and aspirations of Nigerians could be met, and the best of the two arms of government, the executive and legislative arm, could be formed, is in having harmonious, cordial relationship within the framework of checks and balances, and that is exemplified by the 9th Assembly. You will see that in terms of legislative outputs and in terms of fundamental amendment to the Nigerian Constitution, we were able to achieve that in the 9th Senate because of that cordial relationship. Whereas those who belong to the other school of thought will make reference to the rancorous 8th Assembly. But the question is, how many legislative inputs could we said come out from that particular experience? And I'm very particularly happy that now that we have President Asiwaju, if you will not also, caution me, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course, a veteran politician and a National Assembly person, Senator Kashim Shettima, in the shadow, there will be a consolidation of the gains of the next assembly by ensuring that there is a clear discussion, clear understanding as to how issues are to be resolved ahead of even the debate at the plenary. And I think when people now see outcome of already discussed, already ironed out issue, they will think that it has come without any discussions, it has come without any form of agitation, controversy, and so on. But the hallmark of being statement, and I think with what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said, now election is over. It is time for Nigerian politicians to be statesmen and work towards realization of the dreams of the Nigerian people. And these dreams, as I said, the last time I appeared on this program, is very huge. Nigerian people want economic survival, not to be an harrowing experience. They want education for their children. They want health services. They want transportation infrastructure. And they also want there to be hope for them living in this country.
Indeed.
And this cannot be achieved
one moment,
when
Senator.
you have a rancorous relationship.
Okay. One moment, please, Senator. Ayo in Osun State has been holding on for a while. Good morning to you, Mr. Ayo.
Good morning to you.
Thank you very much for calling in and indeed for holding on.
You see, I belong to the later school of thought, the second school of thought, later very distinguished senator from my state, the Swiss Senator Basiru Ajibola. However, sir, in as much as I want a rancorous relationship between the National Assembly and the executive, not to the detriment of the Nigerian citizen. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has started well because at this time the tax hike is so enormous and we don't want unnecessary distraction. He has choosing his birthright and is fighting it correctly. And I want to give kudos to him on that. But however, sir, I have said earlier, we don't want a situation whereby the relationship will be at the detriment of the Nigerian citizen. That is what I don't really want. The National Assembly should work harmoniously with the executive at the betterment of the ordinary Nigerian citizen, not to the detriment of the ordinary Nigerian citizen. So this is my own school of thought. I want a very good relationship between the legislature and executive, but not to the detriment of the Nigerian citizen. God bless Nigeria. God bless President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Indeed. Thank you very much for calling in, Ayo. Okay. Well, Senator Basiru, so that goes to, as he just said, yep, I do want, harmonious relations between them, but I don't want the National Assembly to be forgetting its job. Actually, it's a check. And it doesn't have to be hostile all the time, but it doesn't want a situation where it seems as if, well, the National Assembly has turned into a rubber stamp.
No, you see, what he's saying is not, Yori, he's not saying, he's not going by way of those who are talking of rubber stamp argument. He's saying that there must be a harmonious relationship and it must be for the betterment of the Nigerian people. Exactly. And I think I quietly agree with him. It's a different thing entirely when there's a harmonious relationship to conspire and collude to for Nigerian people to be at the short end, of the offering in terms of good, governance. So perfectly, I agree with Ayo in what they have said. And largely, and I stand to be corrected, as far as harmonious relationship between the 9th Assembly and the executive, we have a lot to show of what we can achieve. And I believe that the 10th Assembly will be able to concentrate on this, particularly when you have a president who have a clear idea of innovative areas by which we can be able to direct the affairs of the country for the betterment of the people. And of course, to be able to realize some of these noble aims, when you take the Renew Hope document of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you see that there will be necessary for a lot of policy changes, a lot of legislative reform, and in fact, constitutional amendment. And the only way you can achieve this for the benefit of the Nigerian people is to have a National Assembly that actually understands its mandate to be that you must make law for the good government, of the country. So I perfectly agree that you cannot have a National Assembly that will be kowtowing to the executive, even when they are doing things that are not in line with the betterment of the Nigerian people. And you could see, even with the tag, rubber stamp legislative chamber that have been given to the National Assembly, there were some requests made by the previous administration that were not considered or approved by the National Assembly. I'll give one or two examples. The 800 million, loan for the in lieu of the subsidy removal was not even tabled before the Senate after the request had been made by the president. Similarly, also the debt judgment debt request for huge amount of money on promissory notes was also not considered. Then some nominees of the executive by the former president were turned down by the National Assembly. But you see, opposition elements, some few opposition elements, if I may use that word, and some other people who don't even believe in the Nigerian stability of the Nigerian state, derive joy only in wishing there to be Armageddon in Nigeria. And that will not happen because ultimately we have no place to go to. We have to work for unity, progress, and development of people of Nigeria.
Okay.